These are the Witches of Bucha, an extraordinary group of women defending Kyiv's skies from Russia's drone threat.
The Witches form a territorial defence unit with nearly 100 female soldiers. Many of them are suburban mums, all are volunteers. In recent months, Russian airstrikes on Ukraine have become more and more intense. President Putin is trying to break the will of the Ukrainian people. Moscow is now launching massive attacks involving hundreds of Shahed drones. Designed in Iran, they are cheap to make, fly in swarms, and can strike a target more than 1,000 miles away. Units like the Witches are the last line of defense. I'm about to spend 3 days embedded with them in Bucha on the outskirts of Kyiv. I'll watch them train and fight, and I'll follow them beyond the battlefield into their homes to see the impact this war is having on their families. Unlike men, women and children are free to leave the country, yet the Witches have chosen to stay and fight. I want to understand why. What's really driving these women to fight after 3 years of bloody conflict, and when they have so much to lose? Here in Bucha, the Russians massacred hundreds of civilians at the start of the full-scale invasion. War crimes investigators are still collecting evidence of rape, torture, and mass executions more than 3 years later. The people of this quiet Kyiv suburb still bear the scars.
We're going with the Witches of Bucha now to one of their fortified positions from where they shoot at the Russian drones at night. They're taking us there especially so that they can show us how they work.
This is squad leader Calypso, the founder of the Witches. And with her and her team, Akuma, Santa and Valkyrie, as they prepare for a night on duty. I'm not allowed to tell you where we are because everything here is a target.
Calypso, why did you decide to call the unit the Witches of Bucha?
Ми вирішили назвати його відьмам Бучі, тому що в Україні кожна жінка відьма, по-перше. По-друге, в мене був патч з відьмою на РПГ. І так подумали, що якраз дуже влучно підходить нам і для виконання бойових завдань. І назва якраз максимально описує нас, жінок.
Відьма – це та жінка, у якої проснулися такі страшні енергії, які в мирному житті завжди сплять. Жінка – це берегиня. Вона захищає свій будинок, своїх дітей, свою родину. Але в такий страшний час, коли ворог прийшов на нашу землю, у нас проснулися страшні енергії, які теж вимагають бути готовим до всього, до смертей, готовим вбивати, готовим збивати ті шахеди.
We're out in the woods with the Witches now, waiting for the Russian drones. There have already been drones sighted over Sumy, and we'll see now if the Witches need to go out and engage them here.
It's 4 a.m. The alarm has sounded. Drones are in the air above us. We grab our gear and move fast into position.
So we're now following the Witches. They have just 15 minutes to get to their firing position to intercept the Russian drones which are now over the Kyiv region.
The Russians usually attack before the break of dawn, when the grey light conditions reduce visibility and make night vision sights less effective. The Witches' Maxim guns are relics from World War II, but still effective when the Shaheds are flying low to avoid radar.
One of the hardest parts of this job is that these women will now have to stand waiting for the Shaheds, which are crisscrossing over Chernobyl, possibly for hours until they come into their operational area, or they don't. And there will be people in other positions around this area also waiting for the Shahed to come into their area.
Tonight, the drones didn't enter the Witches' firing range. So after a long wait, the team rotates and heads back to base.
Santa's going to be really tired. She's had all night up on high alert, and now she's got to go home and take care of her family, and she's invited us to go with her. So Santa, these shifts of yours are crazy, 24 hours long. Are you looking forward to getting home after having such a long shift?
Звісно. Я приїжджаю додому, я знову мама, я знову дружина.
Твой сосед?
Это моя семья.
Это твоя семья?
Это моя семья.
Ага.
Они мне рвут цветы. Привет. Все. Сейчас пойдем гулять? Да. Окей. Идем, я переодеваюсь. Хорошо? Я попью чаек, и мы идем гулять, да? Я первая. Давай.
Her husband Serhiy is a handyman and is home renovating the house after it was occupied by Russian troops. During the mission, these women are soldiers, disciplined and focused. I'm curious to see how callsign Santa becomes Mama Alyona at home in suburban Bucha.
Serhiy, what was your first reaction when she told you that she was going to join the Witches of Bucha?
Ну, перша реакція була, хоче, не поїде.
Я ще просто упрямая. Я сказала, значить, я пойду.
Да, у неї ще характер бойовий.
What was your experience of occupation?
Ну, все рівно, це не було у нас світла. І ще мішай. Не було світла, не було води, це зима. Малому мене було 6 місяців. Він мене був на... Ми пробули тут 3 тижні, потім виїхали.
When you returned to Bucha, what did you find out about what the Russians had done in your town to friends, maybe family members?
Коли ми вже виїжджали, ми знали, що в нас загинули дядько чоловіка. Вони виїжджали в зелений коридор. Вони їхали 3 машинами. І їх на Бородянці розстріляли. Я розуміла, що дякувати Богу, що ми просто виїхали. Бо якби ми залишилися, я б не знаю, залишились ми живі чи не залишилися.
Did what happened here make you angry? Is it part of the reason that you decided to fight?
Звичайно, я була зла. Я пішла 5 липня, у мене був контракт, я заключила контракт. 8 липня була масова атака на Київ, і от ця дитяча лікарня пострадала. Я дивилась по інтернету і розуміла, що дійсно я зробила правильний шаг, що я пішла сюди. І про це я не пожалкую. Багато чоловіків іде на війну, багато забирають. Ми захищаємо його родину тут, щоб йому було куди повернутися, було до кого повернутися.
The Russians are changing their tactics, and the witches need to adapt. The Shaheds are starting to fly low over missile defences, high over gun patrols like the witches, evading the range of their Maxim guns. The witches are training how to use new weapons. Browning and KPV heavy caliber machine guns have been added to their arsenal. They have more than double the range of their old guns and will help defend a larger area against the ever-increasing swarms of Russian drones. But there is another threat looming too. Russia is massing troops on Ukraine's northern borders for a new offensive.
So as you can see, there are men in the Witches of Bucha, but women are becoming an increasingly important part of Ukraine's fighting force as manpower shortages become more acute.
There are some 70,000 women in Ukraine's armed forces, but a disproportionate number of these are combat medics. The witches are not just air defense forces, they are also training as infantry. Some members of the witches, like squad leader Calypso, have already been deployed to areas of heavy fighting like the Donbass. In the West, the Trump administration has reignited the debate over whether women should be sent to combat. Ukraine has lifted all restrictions on women serving in combat and wants more to join the armed forces. So I want to ask the Witches founder, what makes her team ready to kill and be killed?
Is there some sexism within the Ukrainian armed forces, and have you experienced that? Have you had to overcome it?
I don't think so, but I'm sure that all of women try to prove something to themselves and to guys too, that they're not weak.
What do you say to men that say that women shouldn't be in combat and shouldn't be fighting?
In any case, a woman is quite good in everything she's doing. If she really wanted to do something, she will be professional in that. Women is better shooters and they're more concentrated. Every woman can do everything she wants. She just have to believe in herself. Or someone have to believe in her.
Calypso wants to take us to another part of Bucha to show us who she's fighting for.
This one was my friend, this one was my friend, that one, this. It's too many, you know, I know like almost personally everyone. People should remember the cost of freedom.
There is one person here who was particularly important to her.
You talk with your friend 2 weeks before, just trying to find time to meet each other, and after like 1 month, you knew that he was tortured and found without teeth and nails.
Can you tell us about some of the fond memories that you had with Victor?
He was cool, really cool. We spent a lot of time together. He had a small daughter and wife. And now no one knows what happened with him and when he died. Like with a lot of different people from Bucha and Kyiv region and from every region when Russia came to us. No one will ever forget Russians in Ukraine. You just can't.
This is just one cemetery in Ukraine. It's a reminder of how much pain and suffering there is across the country and how much anger there is towards the Russians.
Revenge for the murder of friends and family is clearly one part of what drives these women to kill. Yet seeing them rebuild their homes and hearing their stories has shown me their motivation runs much deeper. Perhaps better than anyone, the women of Bucha understand that this war is not just about protecting land. It is about saving millions of people just like them from the horrors of Russian occupation. Meanwhile, Putin is showing no interest in ending the war. Russian soldiers are advancing deeper into Ukrainian territory. Russian drones keep swarming the skies over Kyiv. But the Witches are ready. They and tens of thousands like them will fight on as long as the Russians threaten their homes, their friends and their families. I'm convinced that even now, in the darkest hours of this war, it is this determination that will deny Putin the victory over Ukraine he craves so badly.